Welcome to Library Grindhouse. The only ticket you need is your library card. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah, and we'll be reviewing the 2017 film Anna and the Apocalypse today.
Okay, we'll start off with the good thing. The Orion logo. So many good memories. We're talking RoboCop, Dances with Wolves, UHF,
E.T.
Bill and Ted,
Right.
Silence of the Lambs. E.T. was Universal, but that's okay.
Well, I thought E.T. was Orion also. I couldn't swear I remember the Orion sign in E.T.
No, you're thinking of the planet in space.
Maybe.
Sorry, Leah.
Where's
That's
Men
okay.
in Black when you need them?
That was Sony. Anyway.
I meant the Orion owl. I meant the cat with the...
what?
Was it the cat's name Orion in Men in Black that
Orion's
had the universe?
bell? Yes, the cat was Orion.
That's what... That was Sony, Leo.
I'm a movie nerd, Leah. Okay. But anyway, so many production logos. So many. It's been a while since we've had a movie where it's just like all the production companies made this thing. But I liked Blazing Griffin. That was a pretty awesome.
Really?
That was a
I
pretty
missed
cool
it.
production company. I like that.
Blazing Griffin.
So a pandemic's happening, which is just like
Well, at first I thought
too soon.
At first I thought that they filmed this during 2020 and they were
Right.
using some of like the snippets and they were just gonna go another route. And then I watched and I was like, 2017. Ooh, they're probably cringing a little bit.
A little
it's literally
bit.
like on the radio they're talking about a pandemic that has flu-like symptoms.
I know, more
that
dangerous
is-
to being upgraded to a lethal pathogen, capable of reanimating, and then they switched the
and then
dial.
and I was like, who?
The Centre for Disease Control has recategorized the pandemic, first thought to be a supervirus strain of the flu. It has now been determined to be a lethal pathogen, seemingly capable of reanimating.
Who just hears when they say reanimating, then I'm not gonna listen to that.
They're already over the pandemic, Leah. They're over it. You know, they're done.
But it's just, and then I'm finding out, like, that's how they started this movie. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. They started off with like a nice radio, whatever, little snippet.
I mean, if you've seen the trailer, okay, this movie, I'm like, cool. It's like Shaun of the Dead, but a musical. And I'm like, yes, I'm on board.
I thought it was gonna be really cool.
I was sold the bill of goods.
And I was telling Jesse before, I happen to really like musicals. I mean, I like musicals for the most part. I was in show choir, I was in choir and vocalettes and everything else you can think of. So so I had really high hopes for this.
Right.
Like really high hopes.
And so, so it's Anna, her dad, and I wasn't sure, like, friend, boyfriend, what is this? Right away.
Obviously, he has a crush on her. You could tell that he had some fondness for her, but I didn't know if it was reciprocated or not.
Right. And so we find out Anna wants to travel for a year, so they're going right into college, and dad's not happy, and I was like, good job, Anna's friend. Way to go. Nice work. And the way that went down, I got the idea that it was more of a friend thing.
Yeah.
And I find out Anna's mother is dead.
But you don't really know how. Just like, if your mother could see you. And I was like, ooh, that's sort of a really bad thing to say when your mom has passed. To be like, that's like the punishment that you say. That's kind of
I'll give him credit for bringing it back at the end.
Yeah,
which I don't think I have a note on that. So.
Ouchie.
But still, it was one of those things where at least they redeem it at the end. So the future headmaster of this private school is a butthead.
Oh, and as I told you before, park your vehicle on school property and it becomes school property. Give.
He is horrible.
And, well, at first he's just a butthead. He's like the typical, head of the school guy of no fun, no whatever, and he's a William Atherton type.
Even still, at first I thought he was Carrie Elwes. I did. And I think it's because I started to watch the
remake. That would have ruined every Carrie Elwes movie for me.
Well, I started to watch...
Prince of Men in Tights would have been fine. That can be ruined for me because I don't like that movie, but...
It's my favorite movie. It's my favorite movie of all time.
I almost bought it on iTunes for $5. Like, I need to rewatch it.
You need to rewatch it because it's wonderful. But anyway, I thought that he was Carrie Elwes, but with like curly hair. And I think it's because I started to rewatch the remake of Black Christmas also. And he's in Black Christmas. He's in the remake.
2019?
Yes.
Oh.
And like as soon as I saw him, I was like, he's the murderer, just like in Kiss the Girls. Spoiler alert. Sorry. Oop. But
I haven't seen Kiss the Girls.
No, yeah.
Or Along Came the Spider. I haven't read the books either. I didn't know Carrie Elwes was in that movie.
Womp womp. Sorry.
I mean, the movie is like 30 years old, but more like 20. But well, no, 25. I don't know. Anyway,
this is when Jesse passes away from me, from me spoiling movies.
No, you're fine. I don't have any plans to watch it. So basically, he takes Steph's car. We meet Steph, who seems kind of like, I mean, she's got shorter hair. She seems kind of like a tomboy, kind of, you know, and it's one of those things where, we find out she's gay, and so that, and she's also American. So it's one of those things where she's really out of place at this British boarding school.
Boarding school type thing, yeah. Well,
so,
are they in? I don't think they're in boarding school.
It's not a boarding school, but like it's a private school, obviously. So yeah.
But you can tell that she is one of those people who are like very driven. Like they kind of made her out to be like the straight A student, very driven. She knows more than the teachers.
But at the same time, she's ostracized.
But
and, like, no one appreciates her. No one likes her. She rubs everyone the wrong way.
She has this weird dynamic,
Yeah, unfortunately. And so he takes her car, which again, her parents are like, we find out in like Mexico, just having a great time.
Having a vacation without her over Christmas. Which I thought was just
great. And then the headmaster cancels her post to the school blog about the homeless after she receives some bad news over the phone about her parents. Mm-hmm. Like she is not having a great day, as is Anna's not. Everyone's having a rough day.
Everyone is having a very rough day.
Yeah.
And then it goes into a musical.
Kind of, but Anna's psyched for Australia, but she already has a ticket.
Oh, you're right.
She has a ticket in her locker, and it looks like an old-fashioned 1960s Pan Am boarding pass ticket that apparently she hasn't paid for, ? She has a credit card or something? Like, I'm just like, 'cause the whole thing was like she needs to pay for the ticket to Australia, but she has the Australia Pan Am 1960s boarding pass ticket in her, like, backpack. I mean, I thought she had to pay for it first.
It'd be funny if she just like created one for her to just stare at. Maybe that's like
it's
her
like for her vision board.
I was just about to say her vision board.
She bought a vintage Australian Pan Am 1960s ticket.
I will get there one day.
Sure, this boarding pass is for 1965, but you know, it's a dream from my locker vision board. That'd have been pretty great. I wouldn't be surprised if people are buying vintage airline tickets or something like that. That could be a market.
I bet you they are.
That could be a thing. Anyway, not sure about this first song. So Anna, Steph, and Anna's friend, they want to break away.
I feel chained and bound to this hopeless town, and I know I must break away. There's a world out there, why does no one care? Are they lost in the games they play?
And their lives do seem rough, and high school sucks.
Yes.
So I guess I can't blame them, but I feel like we haven't been with them long enough to quite earn the gotta break away song.
And it kind of went like just straight into it, where they're all singing in different rooms.
I mean, the friend guy's being picked on in the locker room, which usually it's like that. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, is he also gay? Like at that point, like is he kind of like the gay friend? Like I couldn't quite tell. That's how they were playing it, because they're like drawing on his face, and I feel like when your guy's getting picked on in a locker room, and he seems like a sweet enough guy, and his friend is a girl. Like sometimes in movies that just seems to be coded that he'd be a gay character. That's not where they go. So I'm just like, okay, so they're all like ostracized, kind of picked on, like just not where they want to be, and they want to break away, and it just feels really early to have that song. Like, I feel we needed some more time with the characters to get there.
I agree. I feel like they were using the song to do character building, but really it backfired. Like it did not do that, because
they
I was
really
like,
need to do the welcome to this school where like it all sucks.
Yeah.
Like they should have done something like that, where it's just the whole like the different cliques and the different groups, and then we get a good idea of like the layout of the school and the population.
And the song, and I know that they were in a high school, so I understand, but it just reminded me, it was very High School Music-esque. High School Musical.
The High School Musical is actually halfway good.
No, I understand, but I meant like the song, like the dancing on the.
But they're catchy, like those.
This one wasn't. But I mean, like even the poppiness of the songs, the like vocal range of all of the characters.
Sure.
And
you can't help but like flash back to that.
Yeah, and like for it being a horror film per se, I was expecting it not to be so poppy. Like the music not to be so poppy,
I guess.
But I was just like, this is the first song. So I was like, this is the first song. They're introducing their like angsty teens wanting to get out of high school and break free. So I was like, okay, But
they should have had something where it's like maybe like a thing where it's like they're the kids who love this school, love being at this school, they're proud of this school, they're psyched for this new headmaster or something.
And jets dance off in the middle of the
like when they meet up and they're like, where it's like the theater kids versus the jocks or the whatever. Like they could have done something like that. That would have been so much more interesting when it comes down to like what happens of like these two groups facing off. That would have been very interesting.
And at the same time, I don't know. I hate like putting teens into different casts or whatever, into different cliques.
I get it.
I have no clue where Anna falls.
I feel like
is she like the girl that every guy just wants, and she's just sort of the janitor's daughter who thinks little of herself?
She's so pretty that she's able to transcend her caste in terms of being a janitor's daughter who's going to the school on like a scholarship basically, or because her dad works there. She's able to go to this school, which again, I can see why he's angry, because he's basically cleaning up their puke and poop to get her to have a better life than him. Like, I don't want this for you, Anna. I'm doing this because I love you and I want you to go to college. And you're going to just travel? Like, I mean, he doesn't. I don't think he's like. You see what I'm doing? Like every day, people are literally throwing stuff at me, and like the headmaster, how he treats me, and this is for you. Like, he
seems like a very dedicated father. Like he just seems like
he does need to be more understanding and have a conversation. But it's one thing where she needs to also understand like where he's coming from, and he hasn't done a good job of laying out because he doesn't want her to feel guilty. Like he doesn't want to rub in her face. Like, look, I'm suffering for you. Like, do you not see this? Like, he doesn't want to do that to her, because that probably wouldn't help either. I think he doesn't. The mom's not there. Like, it's just really hard for him. I'm reading. None of this is in the movie. This is all me helping this movie out tremendously. This is my interior whatever that I have created for this movie, doing it a massive favor.
I don't know if you can help this movie out, Jesse.
But anyway, it's one of those things where it's like they just really didn't do a great job of just introing the school, setting up a good conflict, other than just like, okay, the new headmaster sucks, and like we get you want to get away. But she's basically so pretty, it doesn't matter if she's a janitor's daughter, it doesn't matter if she hangs out with the uncool guy who's being drawn on in the locker room by the guy she likes.
I know.
And like, it just is awful. And so like, the jocks want her, but she also hangs with the lower plebs because she's technically kind of one of them because her dad's a janitor and she's not rich or anything. And she's not really super smart necessarily, or like applies herself necessarily in class necessarily. I don't think she's a bad student, but she's just kind of an average student person. But it's one of those things where I guess her beauty helps her transcend.
I don't know.
Where her lot in life would be, so she can kind of be a liminal kind of character. But again, they don't play anything with that. The fact that she can live in all these worlds.
I feel like they really did not do any character building.
Like she's not shown as being a leader. Like she's not shown as like.
But yet she is the leader in every single one of the songs. Like she like takes over everything.
Like, she's the point of view character, but at the same time, it's like you don't. What's her like? She doesn't fit in the school at all, but. Then why is it all at the school? Like,
this movie, literally, I feel like it did not do any character building whatsoever, except it tried to make like the character building be the songs, and they just completely missed the mark. Like, I did not connect or really like Anna or any of the other characters, except for the dad. The dad is the only person that got me.
Look, if you want to hook up over the holidays, then
skip off.
But I also have like a soft spot for dads in general.
Fair enough.
So
I like the friend though. The friend is fun. He's got the Christmas tree sweater that lights up.
Christmas is fast becoming my least favorite C word.
You would be saying that if you were dressed like a festive legend.
Like he's a good time. He's trying to like lighten things and be like a.
He was like the comic relief though. He was like the secondary comic relief character that I feel like was probably the best character of all the kids.
But other than Dad, I'm like he's the only other person you want to root for. And I'm like
that is true.
And I want what he wants.
But
and
they straight up.
I know. We'll get there. We'll get there. So yeah. So basically, this future headmaster dude, butthead guy, is in charge of the school blog, the holiday play, and I guess everything.
Everything. Yeah. And the old headmaster is retiring, so he's
completely checked out, which is hilarious. I love that he's
really
just
funny.
like, I'm just living my best life on my last day. This is great.
That was really
he's got like
funny.
the big button or whatever, and like I love now the new headmaster does have a good line.
Please try to remember that a hand sanitizer is your friend. Kissing on the mouth is not.
Oh my gosh, that was pretty good, and I'm like, good advice in a pandemic. So anyway. Anna's dad's apparently the janitor and soon to be the future headmaster's slave.
Yeah, that's why I was just like,
going to be forced to put up the lights. I mean, I can kind of see why. Like I said, her dad is mad about her wanting to go to college. He's cleaning toilets to allow her to go to this private school, which he thinks will give her the best chance to avoid his fate. Like,
I get that. But
again, not broadcast in the movie, I had to basically make that up.
Yeah, you had to like connect the dots.
For all I
in
know,
your head.
he is paying for the school, and being a janitor there is just icing on the poop sandwich of like, I work here and she doesn't get to go here for free. Like, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm guessing.
But and then like so after that song and dance is over of them breaking away.
Which they don't.
Yeah, which they don't. And then it goes into them being in the cafeteria, in which another song happens where there's no such thing as a Hollywood ending. Isn't that the right one?
Yes, and so
yeah.
Anna's friend is crushing on her. We know this for sure at this point.
If this was a movie, maybe she would be willing to share my world. I'm starting to realize sometimes the nice guys don't always get the girl.
And the whole thing is no such thing as a Hollywood ending. And time will tell, but I actually halfway like this song, okay? Like, I'm not mad at it. Like, this is look, in a musical, I have to reach for something. Like, if I'm not digging some parts of it, I'm like, all I can hope for at this point is like, please give me at least one good song. And this is, I think, the closest they get to a decent song. And I'm like, okay, now this song kind of hinges on what they do later. Like no such thing as a Hollywood ending. How will this movie end? Now, when the danger of having a song saying this is that you have to deliver what you're talking about in this song.
You have to deliver a pretty good ending, like a pretty good,
not a Hollywood ending.
Yeah, different type of ending.
And we'll get there.
I did like the song was catchy. The song was catchy. It was fine. I feel like their songs went on a little too long, personally.
Again, it doesn't matter if you like the songs.
I feel like there were too many songs and went on too long. Like I was like, okay.
Which again, if you're into the songs, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
They won't be long enough. Like you'll want to have the soundtrack on repeat every season.
That is true. But I was just sitting there and I'm like, I feel like I've been watching this song for 5 minutes and like these people are just dancing and I just wanted to see zombies.
And also, this was billed as like a holiday zombie musical. There are like no holiday songs. None of this is about like Christmas or not one song about the holidays, which I'm just like, you totally missed an opportunity to like have a Christmas jam somewhere.
Yeah, like you wouldn't have even,
it's part of the play. Like
you wouldn't have even known it's really Christmas time. And then like we get to after that song is over and she's walking out and we hear like a zombie noise. And I was like, okay, this is where it's gonna happen.
Oh, this was in the trailer.
And it was a girl with asthma.
Yeah, that was in the trailer. Now, at the table in the cafeteria, there's the couple, the friends they're friends with.
Yes.
They
that's
are.
right.
I'm like, I was so thinking they were gonna zombify themselves by making out with each other. Like they didn't know that they'd been infected or something.
Infected.
Because they're making out all the time.
They were just yucky teens doing a bunch of PDA in front of their friends.
Yeah, I was always jealous of those PDA people. But at the same time, I didn't want to be them. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't know.
Gross.
I know. It's just, I don't know. It just brought back bad memories of high school in general. Now we cut to the Thunderballs bowling alley.
Oh, that was funny.
Yes.
That was funny.
If I ever open a bowling alley.
That's what it's going to be called.
Thunderballs. Awesome. And the best song in the movie, the Penguin Rap.
More than a snack full, salmon with some jam, and I could drink it by the tapful.
That was the best. Come on. It was so dumb.
Where did it come from?
It was so dumb and so great.
I didn't know what was going on.
That's the musical I wanted.
At first I thought that it was a like Christmas pageant.
It was like a winter.
Well, I was like,
okay,
so
pageant.
it's not. And then I see the headmaster. I'm like, so are they throwing like a talent show or like a goodbye talent show for this headmaster?
He's so mad because they've rehearsed so many times over lunch or something.
Yeah, like what? What is going on?
I love the Penguin Rap. I love it. I'm sorry.
What is going on?
Sorry. I just.
It's not even a penguin rap. It's about fish.
I know, it was so gloriously stupid. I loved it so much for being so gloriously stupid. And it was at least fun. I at least kind of smiled of just like, wow, this is so dumb.
It was so random.
Oh.
It was so random. But then all of a sudden, there's like the headmaster goes and looks at the door because the door was shaking. There's blood across the school, right? Is that?
Well, he's just upset or whatever, and he's like, you can't trust them to do anything but themselves, and like he goes to check the doors and he like throws it open, and you're like, oh no, this is where the zombies come in. And then like he cuts back to him, and there's just like this brown like dust floating around, brown snowflakes.
I don't know.
And I'm like, what is that? Like
when Anna and her friend, I think this is like right afterwards when they go outside, and at first I was like, okay, so she is flirting with him, and they're like doing the snow angels before the next day happens, before she wakes up the next day and like eats her advent calendar thing. She goes outside with him, and they're like talking about the day. Or something. It was really quick, and they're making
Well, they
snow
close
angels.
out the bowling alley. He knocks out the boss or the cleaning lady.
The cleaning lady
slash boss. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I got the because he's like, we're gonna lose my job, and I was like, I mean, not that it would be better if it wasn't his boss that he knocked out, but it was an accident. Like he didn't mean to.
Well, they just like I feel like they just up left. Like did they even try and wake her up?
No, they did.
Like,
I'm just like, well, that's what's gonna get you fired. Like it's not that it's like you didn't call anybody. You didn't make sure she wasn't concussed. Like. How many fingers? Like nothing? Like, I don't know. And they have a sweet walk together, which I'm just like, oh, please. Like, this is where, like, she starts to open up to, like, to her feelings. Like, she doesn't have feelings or, like, something. Or, like, and she, like, starts to think about him that way. Like, I'm just like, I was pulling for him because I just remember, like, winter walks with girls. And I was just like, I was like, oh, come on, buddy. Like, you got this, dude. Come on.
My thing is, like, she literally is flirting with him. Like, she does that weird flirt thing. And then she like pulls him down, not like just next to her. And they do snow angels. And the entire time I'm staring at the snow, which you were bringing up brown snow. And I was like, that is the chunkiest snow I've ever seen. They are laying in some kinetic sand. Some white kinetic sand is what they're laying
That's
in.
your problem with this movie, Leah? I was too busy just like, come on. This is where the falling in love part. Please, like I want this poor sweet guy to like have a shot. Like I just
the entire time I was staring at the snow and I was like,
I'm just like, come on, this is where it happens. This is where there's like the look, something, anything to just be like, no, it doesn't, they don't have to kiss, none of that. I just need to know there's a chance. Like I just need to know, like I need something.
I feel like she's always kind of like taunting him like there is a chance up until later.
Yeah, I don't know. And then there's like the program going on, and I guess Lisa's boyfriend's missing her song, and that song is hilariously scandalous.
There's a lack of presents in my stocking, and my chimney needs a good unblocking.
And the future headmaster's having none of it, but grandma gives it a big 2 thumbs up, and the current headmaster's clapping along. I was just like, it is one of the best part of the movie.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a really good part. So like literally she's singing this
Santa Baby. She's singing Santa Baby. I mean,
it's not Santa Baby.
It isn't?
Really? It's not Santa Baby because I thought it was too. I was like, I thought she was singing Santa Baby, and it's a completely different song. And then she's got these
It is wildly close. Like there should be lawsuits.
No, it's seriously, you're right. And then there's like 6 half like no shirt, just with red suspenders and like frilly red short.
Yeah, tight booty short kind of thing.
Dancing Santa men behind her. And I was like, what type of private school is this?
It is fantastic. And obviously like she was like planning it all and like choreographing it outside of school, like so no one would know. The headmaster would not let her do that. He would not be like, sure, I trust you, teenage girl.
The weird thing is that they had a dress rehearsal too because Anna saw her in her outfit. She's like, look at this, and we're all there having a dress rehearsal.
There's no way the headmaster would not have been there for that.
No.
Like, I trust you to do final dress rehearsal yourselves.
Just come into the talent show and sing
I'm
whatever.
only like policing our blog and everything else. I have my business up and everything, but no, please do your dress rehearsal without me. I mean, I don't know. There's just really, I don't know. And then, what was flying around? Brown snowflakes, and we have the romantic snow angels, but the poor guy seems permanently in the friend zone.
He is. He's friend zoned.
And then, I mean, it's a problematic thing of just like, you need to have a conversation and clear the air. You know, there just needs to be that like discussion because she's not blind.
No, I think she likes it. I think that's why I did not like Anna as a character.
It's like you gotta have a conversation. It's like I get that you like me. I don't feel that way about you. Like you gotta have that kind of thing, and he's got to then be like, okay, and adjust, and like, okay, that's not what this is. I need a good friend. She's a good friend.
Either that or she's just completely oblivious to him liking her, but I don't even see that. I feel like he really likes her, and it's not,
But he doesn't want to lose his friend by bringing it up.
And
like
I
think he's worried about it's one of those things where it's like I've been in that situation, and it's just like you don't want to lose what you have as a friendship because you have feelings, because that can complicate things. I get it.
Yeah, I definitely get that, but at the same time, I'm just like, why her? He's so much better than her. Anyway, I
don't know. The problem is like, I mean, it's one of those things where I want him to be able to have a chance with her because he wants to have a chance with her, and that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I get that.
It's I don't understand because obviously we haven't had a chance to really know Anna as a character. I mean, she has a pretty good, decent voice. She's attractive, but it's one of those things where we don't know anything else, but we assume like he's been friends with her forever, and so he knows her, all the good, all the bad, and that he still wants to be with her. And so, I mean, I'm sorry for you, dude. And I want you to have that shot if that's really just what you want. Like,
But I don't know. I just don't.
so anyway, Anna sleeps too late, but stops to grab an Advent candy. That also reveals the date.
Yeah,
so
that's really the only time that you see that it is around Christmas time, and then the Christmas decorations that are around, but they don't bring it up.
No, it's...
And then for some reason, this movie tells us that headphones...
Earbuds.
Yeah, earbuds, not
wired
over-the-ear.
earbuds, not noise canceling.
Yeah. They can block out all noises, including...
The zombie
it
apocalypse.
It stops your eyes from seeing things, too. Which I found amazing because I wear earbuds all the time and I can blatantly see what all is going around me.
I can't hear what I'm listening to when a truck drives by me. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
with my earbuds.
That was surprising to see. But then we have another musical of them dancing on their way to school while you see mass destruction happen.
Well, no. Yes, but Friend Zone is still wearing his light up sweater from the night before to go on his run because he's like, I'm going to get fit and I'm going to go to Australia with you. Like, he's inviting himself on this Australia trip, which I'm like, okay, I guess you have you're trying to further your chance with her, and he's getting started on his runs. It's not even New Year's yet.
I didn't know that he was running. I thought he was just walking to school, and you just see him like doing the stretch in like slacks and a sweater. And I was like, dude, you're gonna be a sweaty
mess by the time you get to wherever you're going, dude.
I was like, does he stretch before he like leisurely walks
and you're like,
to school?
You do realize Anna's going to be like, you were wearing that sweater last night, dude. That's gross.
It's never brought up. It's just it's a cool sweater. That is a really cool sweater.
Oh, it's great. If you have that sweater, you wear it all the time.
Yes.
Anyway, so at least he's running in the middle of nowhere, which excuses his obliviousness to a degree because he is running just on a trail in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of a subdivision where there's a bunch of people, like grocery carts flipped over.
The world is ending. It's Dawn of the Dead 2004 level of just like burning cars, looting, pillaging.
No, I will say the stuff going on in the background was pretty hysterical. Like I stopped watching her and I was just watching the carnage in the background. It was pretty funny. They did a good job at the stuff back there, but
I was just too bad that she was oblivious to it. I was too angry. I wasn't able to have fun with that.
I was just like, what? Why? And I know when I walk to school, I straight up dance all the time. Now I know that part is obviously a movie and fictionalized because, like, obviously.
Sure.
But yeah.
I mean, I'm still pulling for these two kids to get together. I mean, it's okay for them to be friends, but I hate this on the fence garbage that basically goes the whole movie. So Anna decapitates her first zombie with a teeter-totter.
And that's like one of the first, so you see the first zombie actually 17 minutes into the film, because I made a note of it.
They meet cute at the graveyard?
Yeah, they just like, well, no, this is beforehand. When she's leaving school, it's like, she like, bumps into somebody and she goes, sorry, and then it turns around and it's a zombie.
Oh,
which
right,
I was like,
so we've already seen a zombie.
Well, I was like,
there's already one right by the school.
But that zombie didn't even try and go after her or do anything, which I was like,
I don't know.
What? Why? Okay, I guess that was just
for us. I mean,
that was just 17 minutes in. We better show him a zombie.
Right.
And then like just random zombie in a snowman suit. And like he just flops over, and then that's when she runs up and she goes, "I'm an EMT in training." I was like, "What?" Yeah, she said something like, "I'm an EMT or I'm EMT certified or something." I was like, "What? Where did this come from?"
That's a weird excuse for her to have anything compassion for humanity or something. Yeah. I'm just like, this person's hurt. I must take a look. It's like.
But that's where I was like, okay, and then zombie, teeter-totter, and then she's still like. The zombie head is on the ground, like, whoa, still jabbering to them. And
I mean, it's obviously like, so now they know it's a zombie and not just
like. But she refuses that it's a zombie. Her friend is like, his name's John, right? I think it is.
I don't know. I just call him Friend Zone.
I just call him Friend Zone. John's like, there's a zombie apocalypse. She's like, no, there's no such thing as zombies. After she decapitated a guy and his head's still back there lolling around talking. Like, what? Why are you saying that? What?
I mean, you've heard of flat Earth, right?
I
mean, so, there are,
I understand that.
I mean,
I do understand that.
Some people, it's like right in front of them, and it's like, no.
But at the same time, and then like, I don't know who says it first, but somebody says something about, like zombie selfies right around this time, right?
Hashtag zombie selfie.
Hashtag zombie selfies. And during that,
it wasn't that. It was hashtag evac selfie, and then we all deserve to go with extinct because everyone's like peacing out.
Well, that's what I mean. Like the entire time, I was just like, that really would happen, and I got really bummed about society afterwards.
1,000%, yes. I mean, that's what. Yeah, we all deserve to go extinct. I'm not necessarily disagreeing in that case. So there's no cell signal. The city hall tree is on fire, which that was kind of a fun shot. It looked a little bit digital, that fire, but
it did. but the ornaments were still intact.
Right.
If you looked at the tree, like they didn't explode or anything.
And then they meet Steph and the video guy at the bowling alley, and others are holed up at the school because they wanted to go get the Wi-Fi going.
And also, why did everyone hole up at the school? Is that like a normal thing?
I don't know if it was
hey,
like...
evacuate and go to the school.
Because the headmaster dude, he makes a thing of like saying the army base is like right there, so maybe it's in an evac spot.
I don't know. I mean, I guess there could be like emergency evacuation spots everywhere that people
and I
don't
feel
really
like
think
Steph
about,
had to be living at the school or school housing or something because she's American, so I assume like her parents are like, they just want her as far away as possible, so we're going to take her to an English private school.
True, but
so some are boarders, some are townies, some are, you know.
But her and that guy were at the bowling alley because, and that's why he missed his girlfriend's song during the musical, because they wanted to...
The soup kitchen, because he basically, he needs something real for his portfolio.
He is the camera guy. He likes to do all the camera work and like film everything.
So he's made like cool little short films, it looked like. It looked like an alien type movie with like a chest burster type thing. He had like cool, fun special effects. And like, it looked like they're fun movies, but she's like, no, you'll never get anywhere with this. You need to have something that's like capturing something real about life and humanity. And it's just like, really?
So he goes with her to the bowling alley, and like you don't see that part. You only see them when they're at the bowling alley. But his girlfriend's pretty upset. So when Anna and John go to the bowling alley, they're there, and they're thinking that they're zombies first, you know. And they're like, well, how did you get in? Well, the back door was unlocked.
Because the cleaning person they knocked out was supposed to lock it.
Yeah, and I was just like, so then there's a random inflatable pool too, filled with plastic balls. Why is that?
It's a ball pit. Bowling alley ball pit.
It's an inflatable pool.
It was Thunderballs. You gotta have more balls. All the balls. Ball pit at Thunderballs.
But I was just like, random. Why is that there? This is the
our
party
church had a
room.
ball pit for a while, so I didn't
I know,
really
but
think
was
much
it
of it.
an inflatable pool? That's the thing. I was like, they
I don't know,
actually
it's a
have
cheap
ball
way to
pit
do it.
things.
I mean,
that is true, but I was just like,
the people who go to a bowling alley, you really don't want to have a ball pit there because that's just not gonna...
Yeah, I feel like little kids
ball
be
pits are
throwing
nasty
the ball.
in general.
Well, I feel like little kids be throwing like the plastic balls down the bowling
I
alley
think it'd be like,
too, and everything.
You know, grown bearded dudes with brewskis sitting in the ball pit, you know, getting drunk and urinating. I don't know. That's what I think of, you know, in a bowling alley. But
I do love that the guy's girlfriend, the lovey-dovey couple, she is at the school with his grandma.
it's so sweet that she's taking care of her.
Yeah, and
like,
she is taking care of her. But I love how when they're like, no, he's probably dead. And she just goes, oh, he'll survive. He's seen every horror movie there is. And I was like, yay!
That's right.
That's right.
You're welcome.
He will. However, at the bowling alley, he screams like a little girl. And, I mean, he does, like, bash some zombies in the head with some bowling pins. But there's one shot that I actually have notes on where, like, some zombie comes back up to get him, and he makes the weirdest face. It looks like he ate a sour lemon, where he's just like, ooh,
okay.
And it's a close-up of his face. And that's when Steph ends up saving him and kills the zombie for him.
I mean, there's a couple things. There's a lot of just like they actually managed to kill some zombies. Like, I get that, like, Friend Zone and the other guy, I like how they're the kind of milquetoast, like, in terms of this, and the girls are the ones kicking some serious butt, which is fine. I think that's great. But at the same time, it's like the dude still is able to get it done with the two bowling balls crushing the head.
No, and that was a pretty good effect.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so he can take care of himself. He can do it. See, Anna, he's not a complete, like, asexual... like girly man, like, I mean...
Now, one thing that did bother me, though, throughout this entire scene, you know, there's blood splurting.
Yeah, like, you get in the mouth, the eyes, the mucus membranes, and like, how are they not... There's way too much blood spray.
Well, I was like...
Way too much blood spray to be like...
It says that it's a virus and it's a pathogen.
Yeah, like...
It's a virus,
like
close your mouth.
Yeah, the blood went in your eye or your mouth. I'm like, be careful how you're wiping it. Like, are you washing your hands? Like, they really need to do more with that.
Like, they just completely went over that. And then you find out, which... Sorry we skipped over prior, that the cleaning lady has been turned into a zombie, and that's how the back door never got unlocked and other zombies got in.
And they got in through the paper wall in the bathroom.
How did the cleaning lady turn into a zombie when they were the last ones to see her? They hit her in the head with the bowling ball or whatever he hit her in the head with and knocked her out.
That was a shoe.
Or maybe, I couldn't remember, and then all of a sudden she's just cleaning the toilet and she turns into a zombie because she was in the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm like, where was the other zombie? Because then a bunch of zombies come through the, again, cardboard wall. And I'm like, was there literally like, was that just like a thin wall between like an add-on to the bowling alley and that's where all the zombies were?
And they were all wearing like a team bowling alley shirt. And I was like, but they closed up the other night and left the cleaning lady there. So how would a bowling team be there?
Unless the zombie bowling team was like...
already there?
Or no, it's like in Dawn of the Dead how like people come to the shopping mall because they remember going there. Like, is this bowling team like we remember going to the bowling alley, so that's where they go?
I don't know.
Is it like a Dawn of the Dead? We're giving this movie way too much credit in that regard. Now, before the zombie bowling alley thing, they do a Quentin Tarantino level rundown of celebs of like who has
Justin Bieber's a zombie.
Yeah, and that's in the trailer. And then it's like Taylor Swift. How dare you?
Don't you say that she's a zombie?
She's fine.
Well, and then
that was pretty funny.
The other thing is, all of a sudden you see them, like you cut back, and they're all like in the ball pit underneath the balls, and then they raise back up. So at first I thought it was a new day. Did they fall asleep in the ball pit?
Yeah, because it was nighttime, I think, when they went to the bowling. Or no, it wasn't.
I can't remember, but it seemed like it was a new day when they all got back up, and I was like, so did you all sleep underneath the balls in the ball pit?
I think that
as like a hiding?
I think so, because because then their bright idea is...
to use the freaking
I forgot.
pool.
I forgot. Before the zombies come in, there is an anti-cell phone, anti-text song in the midst of it. And they have a bunch of people right there to talk to. The song is like, all I want is a human voice. They're right there. Human voices are right
Why do you need
there.
to have cell phone towers and technology in order to talk to somebody when, there's literally 4 people who are not...
The song should have been like, I didn't realize how much I missed just talking to people and not being on my phone all the time. That should have been the song.
I know.
Like, if you're going to do that, like, how nice is it that, like, as bad as all this is, it's been so nice to reconnect on a human level with people. Like,
even the people at the gym are singing the song. Now, mind you, I'm sure that they're trying to talk about how they cannot reach the people at the school to tell them, like, hey, I'm okay.
Well, she wants to talk to her dad.
There.
They want to talk to their loved ones who aren't with them.
I get that. Make it a different song then about like
it's like in general, I just want to hear human voice. I'm like, there are human voices right there. They can hear you saying that you want a human voice. Like, what are you saying about them? Like,
yeah, and then like, but even the people at the school are starting to sing it. I'm like, there's probably 30 people at the school right there.
There are lots of human voices.
Like, what are you talking about? And they're all experiencing the same thing that you're experiencing. Open up your mouth and talk to them about what you're feeling.
Yeah, it's either like, how great is it that like we can't use our phones right now? Like, make it that song, or or I want my loved one. Like, I miss my loved one. I want to reconnect. Like, it's this distance is hard.
Like,
something.
I've realized now, like, what I didn't tell you before. Like,
anything other than this. Like,
I love you before you leave every day, because these things can happen. Like,
it is so miscalculated. It was breathtaking. It was breathtaking.
Yeah,
what is this song?
That was horrible.
And
they keep on doing the trills. So, like I said, I was in choir. I cannot stand when musicals or movies do like the thing where everyone's singing the choir, and then you have one person like in the middle of it. And Steph kept on being that person. I was like, stop.
The Scatterly-Doo-Bop person.
Yeah, I was like, stop doing that, or else they'd be like,
I need a human voice.
I need a human voice. I need a human voice. Like one of those things. I was like, stop. Stop trying to like, this is so High School Musical.
It's my new ringtone right there. Thank you, Leah.
Like, why? That's not how I sing, by the way. Just letting you know.
I want to believe it is.
It got me through choir very well. I was actually the tenor singing just like that. But yeah.
You should hear me sing Let It Go. I have a lot of fun.
Gosh.
It's a good time.
It is.
So we get army zombies. So the army's been taken out because that night before they see like explosions and things like that. So we can tell the army is fighting.
I didn't know if it was the army because it's called Anna and the Apocalypse. So at first I thought like,
they mentioned there's an army base like right there.
Yeah,
but that's where I.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
And I saw explosions and I heard machine gun fire. I assumed it was the army trying to take them out.
See,
I have to give this movie so much help.
I got really confused at first. I was like, so is this like the apocalypse, like the end of times happening? So random bombs are like going off, or like the zombies are creating this thing?
Well, it could be a mix of looting and like vigilantes and military.
But they do allude to the army a lot. Like the army's going to rescue them. Like the people at the army base.
The army's going to evacuate them because that's the evac selfie thing. Like they kind of like go into like the the whole thing of like people are getting evacuated to other places.
Yeah.
Peace out. Anyway, so the army zombies. So they're walking under the inflatable pool to hide, Shaun of the Dead kind of style. I was like, okay, that's fine.
And it was funny, but they're walking.
They can't see where they're going.
They can't see where they're going, but I would at least look at the feet. Like, you can at least look down and kind of use your peripheral vision to see a little bit of your surroundings. And they're bumping into things. And then all of a sudden, they're randomly on the ground and a zombie sitting on the pool.
Well, they bump into a zombie, so I think they duck.
Did they duck?
Like, they're trying to make sure they're hidden completely. And then a zombie just randomly sits on the girl, starts peeing.
Which, do zombies have to pee?
#funny?
Like,
I don't know. Question mark?
Well, but I must have missed the part where they squatted down, because I was like, they're walking. How does a zombie sit on the top of that pool when they're walking? Like, they're all standing.
No, they stopped.
Okay, well,
they
then
stopped
that was
when
my
they
fault.
bumped because they're like, oh no, we're gonna get found out. Which they do anyway because they lift it up enough to see what's going on, and a zombie that has no legs sees them and starts
also,
crawling over.
If you like lift it up and there's a zombie apocalypse, I would do like this much. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like they full on like.
Yeah, and then the pool
what?
gets flipped over somehow. The pool gets, I guess the zombies attacking them and they flip it over trying to get away. And then the bullies show up and they are loving this. They are looting. They are killing.
And they sing about it.
Yes, the main one's dad was in the army and he sings his nice bad boy song.
You know,
like,
he reminds me a lot of Gaston. This song reminds me a lot of the Gaston Beauty and the Beast song.
A Gaston who gets Belle.
Yeah, essentially.
That's this movie, which I'm just like, no.
But like, he's literally just like, I'm the hero.
But Bella's a decent human being, Anna. I don't get that idea. But anyway.
I can do this. I can do all of this. It's just, yeah.
And so.
I literally have gross. Nick had to save the day. Ew, people looting.
Yeah,
all of my notes are just
everything bad they are doing.
Time for a hero to
and
step into the fire.
So much toxicity, and the headmaster is also going off the deep end at this point.
Sorry, I literally have ha 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 ha. When it comes to killing zombies, I'm at the top of my class. That was a line in the.
Oh, they say that a million times.
That's
like the chorus, pretty much. It's just like, yoicks. Yeah. So Headmaster's got crazy hair, and he's going off the deep end. Anna still wants to travel. He's like, well, you're not going to travel now, right? They're cutely pushing each other in the shopping carts.
Oh, and this is the.
And he's like, well, now you're going to travel. And she's like, well, what do you mean by that? I mean, look around. She's like, well, watch me. And I'm just like, is she literally going to run to like a boat? And like,
this is why
is this boat going to Australia? Good, put me on it. Like,
you know how usually you can have some sort of connection with the main character, even like horrific characters. They've had some sort of tragedy. You have this like, you're like, okay, I understand a portion of it. Like, do you know what I mean? There's some sort of like character intrinsic like. I don't know, connection.
Again,
I had none of that.
No, like I understood Billy like going from a traumatized kid to being a killer Santa Claus. I didn't agree with his journey, but I understood the trauma and how he got to that point. Nothing
Anna
here.
Whatsoever.
There's nothing to make me connect with her on any level. Again, I just care about her because Friend Zone does. Okay,
man.
Like that's all. That's the only reason. And I'm just like. Man, why did Friend Zone have to bite it?
And when they're in the shop, I know. When they're in the shopping cart and she just literally goes like, friend, you're my friend. And she over enunciates that, my heart just dropped. Because I was like.
At least he was like, switch.
Yeah, he was just like, switch and put me in the shopping cart. Or whatever.
Just like, but then it'd be even more, I won't want to look at her anymore at that point for a while. Like I'd want to just kind of walk on my own for a while and just be like, fine, all right, that's
fine. Give me some time.
And that's a really bad way to handle that.
It was so
on
bad.
Anna's part. I'm just like, you need to have a conversation. You guys have been friends, from what I understand, for way too long at this point, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
For not just like years. I mean, maybe possibly since like elementary school. And like, you can't just like be like friend, you friend, me friend. That's it. Like you got to have a conversation about it. Like, I mean,
exactly.
I don't know.
And then that stupid Nick guy comes up and scares them, and I'm like. There's a time and a place for scaring people. During a zombie apocalypse is not one of them. I was really hoping that when he jump scared them, like Anna accidentally killed him.
No, and then she's like, hot.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is this movie?
Like,
what is this movie?
Not him.
What is happening?
Him. Not that stupid Nick guy, he's gross. And then you come to find out, is this when you come to find out, like, he...
Yeah, I had to kill my father, which is why I'm like, you killed him hours ago. I get that you're, like, affected by that, but you were way too happy about, like, just murdering everything and stealing everything.
Yeah.
Like, you were having a party, and I don't know if it was, like, that was coming out of your tragedy. Again, I have to make this stuff up in my own head to have it make any sense of just, like, I am giving this movie so much.
But his whole thing was that his dad was an army dad, and, like, he fabricated this story about how his dad first left him to go to the army base without him to, I killed my dad, and his last words to me were, just do the right thing for once.
And I get it. Okay, so you're all of a sudden, that's supposed to be like, you have like 16 plus years of like history now understood of just like, that's why this guy is. And I'm just
that's what I mean. And I was just like, so that is what made you be a punk? Like, what?
Like, I mean, it doesn't seem like you're really getting in trouble for how you were being. It seemed like you were being rewarded.
Yeah.
Like, that you were fine. That you were one of the popular kids. You seem to be doing well enough in school. Like, your dad thinks you're a screw up, but
I don't know.
That doesn't excuse anything that you're doing. Like, I don't know.
I'm
not giving the dude a pass.
No, I'm not either. I don't like him. But they all end up are they at the school now?
They get to the school after, no, to get to the school, friend zone has to bite it. He he does the cute thing of like they're trying to remember all Santa's reindeer and they're having jokes about like what the reindeer are. And so he finds like, I know the reindeer, he lists them all off. I feel like he misses one
like
anyway. He's over exaggerating and a zombie bites his hand. It's so just like Naked Gun levels of like, no.
Well, and before that they traveled through an indoor Christmas tree lot?
Yeah, they're like, we're going to go through the Christmas tree lot with no sight lines. Military son, what are you doing? Of course your dad's mad at you. Like, you have no...
So all of his friends already bit the dust. So you know that, like, friends are biting the dust. You know that the guy who is in love with the girl who's with his grandma, I don't know his name.
They split up, right? For reasons? Reasons?
Well, yeah. Like,
I forget.
He drops his phone, and he went to go reach for his phone while there's zombies.
Because he's been taping all this for his humanity, like,
thing. And Steph saves him, and she's like, there's a time and a place for that. Like, you don't need your phone right now. But he still managed to grab it.
It's the only thing that had pictures of Lisa and his gran, and he didn't know that they were alive.
And I do understand that sentimental value, but at the same time, I was just like...
But she and I thought that he was just wanting to rescue his footage for his reel.
Phone,
I didn't think about the fact that was all he had left to remember his gran and his girlfriend.
Yes.
If they were dead. And so...
But then John ends up biting the dust, and I love... Okay, so they're surrounded by zombies, him and Anna are. He's already been bitten, and he makes the decision to... like pretty
back
much
up through
grab
the zombies.
her so that they can bite his back and get him and just pull her out of the zombie horde.
But he wasn't being bitten at that point.
No, it seemed like the zombies were like, okay, let me get out of your way for
I guess
you.
they couldn't grab her, but they should have done a better job of him like getting his back's getting flayed.
Something.
Like something where he's getting really hurt doing this.
And then she's standing away from him and he just goes, goodbye, or something. Like
run, and then he lets them take him. And I'm like,
go.
I thought he was getting vivisected, but then we see him later and he's fine. He even lights up his Christmas tree sweater, which I'm just like...
I was like, so your guts aren't
getting,
all out?
I thought he was getting headmastered, spoiler alert. And like...
they're all just still standing there too, and like the zombie horde is over top of her friend eating him, but he doesn't even look eaten when you see him next time.
And then Butthead's just like, come on, we gotta go. And I'm just
they're
like,
standing there talking, and I'm like, how can you stand just this far away from your friend being eaten, and there's still, I don't know, zombies right there that are gonna be finished eating somebody eventually. Go away, like run away. And then all of a sudden they turn around and there's more zombies there. And secondly, all of her friends were standing there while her and John were being surrounded by zombies. Were they just standing there like, okay, yeah. No, nobody tried to like help them out or anything.
It's not great. It's not great.
What?
Yeah.
But anyway.
So they get to the school. Headmaster's waiting for them and acting very weird. He has super crazy hair. He locks them in with zombies in the school, and the Headmaster song is so annoying. It sounds very Rocky Horror. Very, like the worst of Rocky Horror. It is... awful.
Well, and at first I thought that it was going to be that he kept all of the parents there and he turned them into zombies. So it was going to be like a wah wah, you made it all the way here and everyone's already zombified. That's what I thought was going to happen. I had some high hopes. And then I was like, so
that's not a Hollywood ending. Oh my gosh.
That's what I thought. So then I was like, no, okay, so the headmaster's delusional.
So they pull that punch.
He's singing about like how, I don't know, he's going to be number one. And like, I'm like, well, they're still zombies. Are you going to be the ruler of all zombies? Like, how are the zombies not chasing after you?
Because he managed to like lock himself into
in.
like
Oh yeah, that's right.
The cafeteria, like
there's a
the lunch
steel
lady
grate.
area, because they like how, and that's true. Like you would have the grating like between like because you have cashier stuff and whatever.
Anna just taps it and the grate comes up.
Well, that's later, but yeah. So Steph and Lovey Doveys, they go off to get Steph's keys, and Bully and Anna go to find her dad. I'm not giving the bully a pass because he tried to kill his dad. You can't be nonplussed by finding out that Anna's mad about you dumping her because you're surprised, and she's like, you broke up with me after, like, we talked about our lives together and stuff like that. And he's just like, oh.
I'm angry with you because we shared all that stuff about our future and you acted like it meant something. And then you just dumped me. I trusted you.
Oh.
Oh, I
Like,
didn't realize that I
kidding
was
me?
talking about our future and then I dumped you and I don't understand why you'd be mad about that.
Yeah, you were mad about that?
What?
And this is the guy, and she's still just like,
And she's still,
hot.
yeah.
And it's just like, what are you
Gross.
doing? Anyway, so Lisa and her boyfriend get bitten. Man, I mean, this really sucks. And this is after he finds out his grand had passed away. Luckily, she wasn't bitten, so I guess she's not gonna come back alive.
And he's playing like footage that he made for her at the time.
Yes.
On the screen because he thought that it would like
Distract, because zombies were
distract
distracted by the
zombies.
TV, and he thought that he'd make it better by having
But
footage
his
on
phone
there.
started to have low battery, so they end
Yeah.
up getting bitten.
Yeah.
And that was actually a really sweet moment because they're both standing there. They both know that they're gonna die or turn into zombies, and it's just like, well, at least they made it to each other.
Yeah, I would have liked it better if it had been like one of them gets bitten and then the other one purposely goes to get bitten. I would have liked that a little better of just
Yeah.
like, okay, now like.
Well, the poor Steph girl's just standing there and she's like, okay, I guess I'm by myself now. Thanks,
But
dudes.
she was tearful about it. Like she felt so bad for them because she knew how in love
Yeah.
they were. I mean, Steph has humanity. I like Steph. Like I'm not against Steph. Like I see Steph has a chip on her shoulder. Like she still seems to act decently. She can be kind of funny. She's tough. I do kind of like Steph. But it just sucks. And the headmaster has Anna's dad tied up on the stage because he's now a megamaniacal villain. I'm just
How
like,
did he even
what?
get him up on the stage and tied with all these zombies around?
Yeah, and then he gets the obligatory tearing apart scene, and his dad was able to like get him to the edge of the stage where the zombies grab him, and he does like a crowd dive.
And yet again, another issue I have is Headmaster and Dad are fighting. And there's like a horde of zombies at the bottom of the stage, and they're on top of the stage.
Yes.
And they're fighting. Anna has a huge candy cane with a huge poker thing at the end.
What is this thing made of? Because she uses it for like everything. She can open the metal grate with it. I'm
Yeah.
just like, is this? It's got like a huge metal spike on the bottom.
She took it from the Christmas tree lot. So I was like, okay, so it was an outdoor candy cane. I understand
But
the
that would
spike in the ground, but like, what? There's no way it could have
That
lasted
spike
this
would be
long.
plastic. There'd be
Yeah.
nothing metal about this
But,
candy
like,
cane.
I'm sorry, and maybe this is just me, and like I said, I've got like a soft spot for dads. If somebody was attacking my dad while there's a zombie horde, I'd be beating him, like
Help him,
with
something.
the back
I think,
of
but
this
she was like,
candy
"Dad,
cane."
watch out!" And she kept trying. I think I think there's at least one shot where she was trying to like get a shot in.
See, I didn't-
But I think she was like wanting her dad to be out of the way.
I didn't see that because I was just like, because they were on stage before he was even like close to the
I was pretty
edge.
sure she was there, but it was like, "Oh no, Anna, you can't! You accidentally hit your dad,
I
like
was-
with the spike or the cane."
I was like, I would have bashed him over the head, and then you see her dad go, "Ah," and you think it's from the guy, and then like from the headmaster. You see
Yeah.
him go like, "Ah," and then he turns him around, and he ends up throwing the headmaster so he can have one last like, what is
Headmaster's
it?
getting hit.
Well, what's the thing? Crowd surfing moment with the zombies
Oh, yeah.
because he's the man.
And he does get hit with the swinging star that almost took him out earlier in the movie.
Yeah. Anna does do that. She does hit that in order to take him out because his dad,
Yeah.
her dad was going to let him go. Her dad obviously had a good heart.
Yeah,
And was
he
just
was
gonna let him
take. Then he
go.
grabbed a weapon or something. I forget
Yeah,
what it was.
and he was going to
yeah.
kill the dad. And then, yeah. But then you come to find out when the dad went, oh, he was bitten.
He got bitten in the ankle.
And
yeah, ankle biter.
He has like a rational conversation with his daughter, which was what got me because it was obviously a dad.
And that's
talking.
where it brought back the whole, if your mother could see now, she'd be so proud. I'm like, proud of what, dude? You haven't seen anything she's been
Yeah,
doing.
it's true.
She made it to the school alive, I guess, and intact, which means something,
Which means
question
something,
mark?
I
I'm just
guess.
like, I guess it's just one of those things where it's like he wanted to make sure that wasn't the last memory she had of him, of just being so mad at, like I guess it's a way of saying, I'm proud of you. Again, I have to give this movie so much. I have to make all the stuff up. Like, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
I don't know. I mean, at least maybe he saw the bloody candy cane. He was like, well, she did that. Did something with it. I don't know. But
there's just so little that's fun about this movie.
And then the Nick guy comes along and he says, well, at least you got your boyfriend. She goes, he's not my boyfriend. And I was like, what?
But hot.
Cool.
And it's just like,
yeah, but you like him, and like no mention of like her friend that her dad apparently drove to school most days.
Where's friend zone at?
Like she doesn't bring him up, and then she's like, you could come with us, and the dad's just, no, it comes on quickly, like I can't be around. And there's the end shot where he's just like staring at her picture on his phone, which I was just like, oh, hit me in the feels.
I know, right?
But then like Anna and Nick, Mr. Gross Person, go outside and they're surrounded by zombies.
Yep.
And he gives up. He straight kneels to the ground, just says, I'm sorry, and just gives up. And Anna's sitting there with the candy cane, and you think it's going to be the end. You think it's going to be not a typical Hollywood ending where I'm like, cool, I'm going to see him ripped to shreds, and it's going to be the end of the movie. Like, that's going to be the not so typical. And it's going to be literally
zombies singing a song or something. Zombie
like,
jingle bells or something.
Zombies singing Follow Along.
That would have been awesome.
But then all of a sudden, friend Steph comes in her car and drives over some zombies, puts them in the car, and then drives off into the sunset. Like a typical Hollywood ending.
But like, so things are so great because Anna got to leave the town finally, question mark? Because they ask, where do you want to go? And it's like, and it's supposed to be like, oh yeah, Anna knows where she's going. And I'm like, but she doesn't.
She doesn't.
And it's like they leave town, so it's like that's a success. And the bully gets to be with Anna? I mean, no thanks.
And wouldn't you drive straight to the army base anyway if it's the school?
But they saw the army zombies. I don't know. I don't want realism in my holiday zombie musical. I get it. Jerks get amazing women they shouldn't have, or like, you know, and then jerks get to live while the good guys die. Like, I get that that's like life, but oh my gosh, that's not what I want in my zombie holiday musical.
No, it's just, I don't know.
The typical Hollywood ending would have been like all the girlfriend, the lovey-dovey couple, everyone would have been zombified in that cafeteria, and like including the dad. Like, it would have been like, why are we even here? What are we even fighting for? And maybe they would have figured it out, and it would have been something unconventional.
Yeah.
And like it could have been really amazing. And why did you write that song?
No, I don't understand it. The only thing that I semi-liked about this movie was sort of the ending where there's a Merry Christmas banner and it goes over, and then all of a sudden there's a zombie Santa right behind the banner that kind of jumps out, and I did do a little jump scare, and I was like, okay, so cool, I got scared once in this movie. I guess redeeming quality right towards the end.
But then it's just like, remember it's Christmas? Because we sure did a terrible job of reminding you it was Christmas.
The only thing that reminded
There's tree lots, there's like a Christmas like holiday program.
Yeah, Anna carries around a candy cane beater stick
or
whatever.
How can you not have an attempt at making a Christmas song in this movie, or a holiday song in this movie, a snow song, anything? You didn't even try. Like, I thought it was Santa Baby. I guess they definitely did a Christmas song with that.
Yeah.
I know, but I thought technically, like, well, at least they had some kind of holiday type song there, but
I mean, I guess, yeah.
It was so close to Santa Baby. I thought it was, and so I didn't even pay attention to what she was even singing, other than I figured it was a salacious Christmas song.
It's just so weird. I don't know.
They missed so many opportunities that it is breathtaking.
I seriously had such high hopes for this movie.
I know.
And yeah. 1 star.
It was the first Grindhouse movie I genuinely disliked. I mean, I won't hate it quite as much on a rewatch if I ever rewatch it, but I mean, the trailer sold me that it was going to be like joyful in some way. There are quotes like the most joyful holiday movie of the year, and I thought that was tongue-in-cheek in terms of it being like all gory and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I thought maybe everything else would be really funny or sweet or whatever. And like, that's the thing. Like, you got to have like a sweet, fun musical part along with the gore and the horror and all that kind of stuff.
And
like,
I thought it was going to do that delicate balance.
That's
and
the
be
dichotomy
really
of it, of like, there's a sweetness, there's a lightness, and then people are getting decapitated and blood squirting everywhere, and that's what it is. Instead, it's just like, no, we're not going to have any fun here.
Yeah, it was too. I don't know. This was the second one that I didn't like. And it has 4 stars on Kanopy, which I'm very surprised about.
That's really weird.
This also, because I looked this up, it grossed $500,000 in the U.S. alone. This movie did, which I know isn't a whole lot in terms of box office.
It was barely released in theaters,
but still, that's still kind of an okay chunk for the U.S. alone. It was
released as independent movie. It wasn't released like I think a big release.
And I was just like, how? And I was reading reviews, and people were like, this is probably the best zombie movie I've ever seen. What a great Christmas thing. And I was just like, did we watch the same movie?
No.
Is there like a UK release of this movie that we just missed?
Like an international cut, like Rocky Horror style, where it's like people like the international cut better. And
missed the good part, or what? I was just so surprised at how many positive reviews I saw of this movie, and I literally was just like, did we watch the same thing?
Yeah. I don't know. And your mileage may vary. I hope you really liked it since we suggested you watch it.
If you did like it, like tell us in the comments what you liked about it.
Yeah, not just what's wrong with us. We want to know, I mean, we generally want to know, what did you love about it? And maybe that might help change our minds and soften our opinions on it a little bit. And maybe we just missed something.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what happens sometimes.
Sometimes like we get so focused on taking notes or studying different things that we miss. Obviously, we're both
and we
film
had
buffs.
expectations going in, but
that we missed some of the things. So if there is something that we missed or some like overarching theme or something, please let us know, because I genuinely want to know.
I wanted to love this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't go into this movie wanting to hate it. I thought this was going to be my movie. Like,
exactly. So
and that's why it's so disappointing. So anyway, those are our thoughts on Anna and the Apocalypse. And now here's your clue for the next film we'll be covering.
Clucifer here. Your clue for the next film is no Michael Keaton here.
Thanks, Clucifer. Be sure to let us know in the comments what you think the next movie is, as well as, again, what do you like about this movie? And that's okay. Like, we're not judging it. We generally want to know, because a lot of people like this movie, and it's like, what? I mean, we've obviously laid out very clearly why we didn't, but again, maybe we missed something. So anyway, for Library Grindhouse, I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah.
And we'll see you Friday for our next reveal episode.
Yeah, bye.